Hi there, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make a ambient pad in FM8, quite a versatile sort of sound. Here's the sound we're going to do. And there's no actual automation with this sound, it's all just kind of modulations, what we've set up in FM8 to just give that paddy type sound a lot of nice movement. So go ahead and create a new sound in FM8 and let's set up some of these operators. And I'm going to be using operators F, E, D and C and B actually as well for this sound, and also the filter operator Z or Z. So I'm going to route all these oscillators or operators to the filter as well. So just drag them up to 100 there. And operator F, we're going to have a square wave, and we're going to take the ratio, going to half that ratio, so 0.5. And operator E is going to be a sawtooth, and I'm going to be this 2.5 for the ratio here, and then just drag this up a little bit just to offset it a little bit, just kind of detuning it very slightly. So just drag that up to 2.5018. And operator D, we're going to have a third formant, and going to make the ratio 3, but we're going to do a similar thing again and just drag it down, you know, just a couple there, just dragging it down by 4 just to kind of detune that one slightly. And operator C, for operator C we're going to have one of these TX wave 8, one of those ones. And same thing again, I'm going to have 1.5 as the ratio, but I'm just going to drag it down ever so slightly. And then for operator B, a soft triast. It is tristate. Sorry, pronunciation's a bit wrong there, but one of these ones anyway. And the ratio is going to be 1.5. So and route the filter to the output, obviously, to get a sound. And I do think with programming sounds in FM8, just getting a nice combination of operators and, you know, some nice relationships with the ratio, just get that sounding relatively nice and warm before going and decorating it with a load of effects and taking the voices up. You know, the nicer you can get the sound to begin with, the nicer it's going to sound once you enhance it further with these effects and, you know, increasing the voices and stuff. So we've got the operators set up there. What we're going to do now is start setting up some of the envelopes for the sound. Right then, so for operator B, the envelope's going to stay like that, really. It's just kind of sort of hold the note of operator B there. And for operator C and D, we're going to link the envelopes and do something like this. Just drag the sustain out a little bit and just pull that sustain in. There. And just give the attack a little bit of a curve as well. So something like that will be fine, really. And then on to operators E and F. And again, we're going to link these two, so hit the link button. So operators E and F, the envelopes are linked. And it's going to pull this sustain down a little bit, so we've got like a sharp attack and then it decays and holds the sustain for a short while, and just give the envelope a little bit of a release as well. So we're getting some quite subtle movement in the sound there. And next thing to do really is maybe look at the master and start beefing up the sound a little bit. So increase the voices to 4. Take this pan of the voices up here, so we're going to sort of give the sound some nice width. Take the detune up a bit. And both these sliders, analog and digital, are going to drag. The digital's a bit like a bit crusher, so, you know, it's going to give some nice sort of distortion in the sound, and drag this analog slider up. about halfway, digital bit more than halfway. So we've got a nice kind of warm sound going on now. So next thing to do would maybe sort of set up some of the kind of modulation that we're going to do with the sound. And I think the way I did this was, rather than, although the modulation comes up here, what I did was the easy morph and gave the sound a bit of tremolo. Hit apply, and if I go back to my modulator, yeah, and what it's done is that tremolo is basically just all of these operators. LFO2 has been assigned to it, and it's modulating the volume of these operators. So we're getting a slight sort of little bit of movement there. What else I'm going to do here is going to just pull the LFO up of the pitch modulation here to about 16, and this is on LFO1. This is going to give a bit of a vibrato sound. I'm going to sync the LFO as well, take the rate up slightly. And it's just giving it a little bit of let's key sync it as well, so the LFO is not free running. It kind of restarts with each time we hit the key. And I'm also going to change the LFO shape to a 4/4. So it's kind of a quicker sort of movement, really. As you can see, the sort of shape suggests it's going to do that there. So the next thing to do is apply some reverb, which is the only effect I'm going to have on this sound. So I'm going to take the time up a little bit and the bright up a little bit, just to give a nice bit of top to the reverb, and the dry wet slide. So it's going to be quite a sort of wet reverb. Just kind of gives it a nice bit of space, that reverb. And okay, what else do we need to do with this sound? Set the filter, really. So go and hit the operator Z, and what I'm going to have here is the mix of the two filters going to be all the way to the right. So the routing is going to be routed to filter 2, but it's going to be in serial mode. So basically the sound is going into filter 1 and then through filter 1 into filter 2 and then to the output. So I'm going to take the cutoff down here. Let's bring the resonance down as well. Move the spread up a little bit, you know, just a little bit. Resonance of filter 2 as well. It's going to be halfway, and the mode as well of these two filters is all the way to the left, which is a low pass filter. And what we're going to do now as well is increase the envelope amount to 100. So now this filter is being routed to the envelope as well. So this is going to have an impact on the sound. So, and what we're going to do is we want it sort of nice and bright with the filter open at the start of the sound, and then it's going to close over time. And in order to do that, we set the filter like this. So that's the kind of the sound, the shape of the sound, and a couple of final things just to beef it up a little bit more. Is I'm going to start doing some extra routing here with the operators. Just I'm going to feed B into C, take up to 16, and also going to feed B into D, take up a bit higher to 23 there. And then what I'm going to do is feed F into B, and this should change the sound a little bit. You could hear how much that was affecting the sound there as I dragged it up. So I've put it at 71, but you just do that to taste, really. And I think that's it with the sound, really. So put it with the B. So that's it, a kind of an ambient pad sound. It's quite a versatile sound. It wouldn't have to just necessarily be used in ambient music, but a nice way of getting a sort of nice paddy sound together in FM8. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and yeah, any suggestions for future tutorials, any sounds you want to see made on FM8, then get in touch and let us know. And thanks for watching. All right, see you again soon. Cheers. Goodbye.